Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today, OCLTU just filed an 8K about their IPO, and I'm seeing a key detail about how they are funding their future. Quick note, this is not financial advice, just my take on public filings for educational purposes. This filing confirms the company has successfully completed its initial public offering. But the real story lies in how they are setting up their finances for the next phase. So OceanLight Acquisition Corporation, or OCLTU as you'll see it on the market, has officially gone public. This is a pretty standard report for a company that is just starting out on the stock exchange. They are telling us all the details about their initial public offering or IPO. This form, called an 8K, is like a current report that companies file when something big and important happens. In this case, the big event is their IPO, which is when a private company first sells its shares to the public. The date of this report is the 10th of August 2026. And that is the day the IPO officially happened. The company itself is OceanLight Acquisition Corporation. They are a special kind of company called a Special Purpose Acquisition Company, or SPAC. SPACs are basically shell companies that go public with the sole purpose of raising money to buy another already operating company. They are incorporated in the Cayman Islands, which is common for these types of companies, and their file number with the sexy is 001- 43,307. Their main office is in New York City. If you needed to call them, their number is 2126121400. Now, let's talk about what they are actually selling on the stock market. They have different types of securities, which are like pieces of ownership in the company. First, they have units. Think of a unit as a bundle. Each unit contains one ordinary share of the company, which is a basic ownership stake. It also comes with one warrant and one right. These units are traded under the ticker symbol OCLTU on the NASDAQ stock market, LLC. Then you have the ordinary shares themselves, which are just the basic shares of the company. The par value of $0.0001 is a very small, almost symbolic amount, and doesn't really reflect the actual market price. These trade under the ticker OCLT. They also have rights. These rights give the holder the ability to get a fraction of an ordinary share, specifically 1/4 when the company eventually makes its first business combination. These are traded under OCLT. And finally, warrants. Warrants are similar to options, giving the holder the right to buy ordinary shares at a set price. In this case, $11.5 per S-share. These are traded under OCLTU. The company is also checking the box to be considered an emerging growth company. This means they can take advantage of certain relaxed regulatory requirements for a period of time, which is pretty common for newer public companies. Now, let's get to the core of what happened. The main event here is the IPO itself. On the 10th of August 2026, OceanLight Acquisition Corporation completed its IPO selling 10 million units. Remember those units we talked about? Each one had one share, one right, and one warrant. The warrant allows you to buy a share for $11.5 later on. They sold these 10 million units at $10 each, bringing in a total of $100 million in gross proceeds. That means before any fees or expenses, they raised $100 million. The people who helped sell these shares, called underwriters, have a 45-day option to buy another 1.5 million units if there is extra demand. This is a way for them to manage any potential shortages. Now, here is an interesting part. At the same time as the IPO, the company's sponsor, called OceanLight Capital Sponsor Limited, bought about 211,000 private placement units for $10 each, bringing in another $2.1 million. These are usually bought by early investors or the company's founders and often come with similar terms to the public units. And if those underwriters buy extra units, the sponsor has agreed to buy even more private placement units. This shows the sponsor is committed to putting more money in. This is a really crucial piece for a SPAC. A massive chunk of the money raised, $100 million, is being put into a trust account. This account is specifically set up for the public shareholders. It is managed by a trustee, Continental Stock Transfer and Trust Company. This money is meant to be used for the company's future acquisition. They also mentioned that an audited balance sheet is available as an exhibit, showing how much money they have after the IPO in these private placements. This section just points to the exhibits that are part of the filing. Exhibit 99.1 is the audited balance sheet as of the 10th of August 2026. This document would show the company's assets, liabilities, and equity right after going public. For a SPAC, a key asset would be the cash held in the trust account. And Exhibit 104 is is the interactive data file for the cover page, which helps computers process the information. This is the signature section where company officers confirm the accuracy of the report. Ping Zhang, the chief executive officer, signed off on this report. So what does all this mean? OceanLight Acquisition Corporation has successfully raised $100 million through its IPO, and a significant portion of that is now safely in a trust account, waiting for them to find and acquire another company. This is standard procedure for SPACs. The units, shares, rights, and warrants are all trading on the Nasdaq, giving investors different ways to participate. The key for investors now is to watch what company OceanLight decides to merge with. The success of a SPAC often hinges on the quality of that acquisition target. Historically, many SPACs have struggled post-merger, with a significant number of them seeing their stock prices drop considerably in the year following the acquisition, sometimes by as much as 70 to 90% from their peak. Investors are essentially betting on management's ability to pick a good company. The fact that the sponsor also invested alongside the public offering is a positive sign, showing some skin in the game. What I am looking for next is the announcement of their target company. That is when the real evaluation of OceanLight's strategy begins. Oh, and the research tools I actually use are linked in the description. They help keep this channel going. That is my take. Stay decoded. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps. And subscribe for more deep dives. Check the Discord in the description.